Hi, my name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. It's review day! Today we're going to review the Western Mountaineering Puma bag. Is this possibly the best mid-weight sleeping bag expedition bag out there? Let's find out. Is the Puma bag from Western Mountaineering possibly the best mid-weight expedition bag out there? In my personal experience, I would definitely say so. A lot of times I go on solo expeditions to winter in Yellowstone, up on Denali, where Denali is freezing. Yellowstone in the winter can get to minus 45 degrees. This bag has served me incredibly well. The bag is rated to minus 25 or so degrees, and that's a comfort rating. That's not a survival rating. So one of the nice things about Western Mountaineering bags is that they rate them for comfort. So unless you sleep really cold, like you're one of those people with 5 duvet down things, and you're gonna have a hard time. But usually people who sleep moderate to plenty warm, these bag ratings are spot on. That's been my experience. So I've used this bag in down to minus 45. It was kind of chilly, but I survived. So with a little bit of down booties and just putting other down clothing around it, it was awesome. But minus 20, minus 25, not a problem. I've used my Western Mountaineering Antelope bag in Greenland to minus 20. Again, it was chilly, but I was fine. I was definitely not even surviving. So why is this an expedition bag? Well, there's a couple reasons. This is made out of the Gore windstop material. It's much tougher than the microfiber. It's much more waterproof, really water resistant. I've woken up many times where I'm breathing on my bag in the tent, and the moisture will slowly saturate in. So if you splash a little bit of water, it's pretty resistant, but is definitely not waterproof, because otherwise, if this bag was waterproof, you would never be able to squish it in the compression sack. And as you can see, when I'm laying down here, this bag is thicker than my body. I mean, is crazy big, which is really nice, because when you're in an expedition situation and you're freezing your keister off, you snuggle into this bad boy, and it is awesome. By the way, I do not receive compensation or free sleeping bags from Western Mountaineering for these reviews. So just, it's my straight up honest experience with things I own or things I've used. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. That way you receive updates and reviews, travel information, and motivation. So this bag comes in a variety of options. You might notice the color's a little bit different. I've had this bag since 2003 or so, and it's still been trucking. It's been incredibly great. It comes with a dual direction zipper, so if you need to unzip the bottom and kind of cool your feet off, I don't do that much, obviously, because it's a little sticky there, but this unzips almost the entire length. This is also called a mummy bag. For those of you who are claustrophobic, the mummy bag's going to be a hard problem, but if you're doing an expedition, mummy bag's really the only way to go. So I am 6 feet tall, and this is a 6'6" bag. So you can see just laying out here that, there's still plenty of bag above my head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop in this thing just to show you, what this bag looks like. Now, I'm not going to be able to hang long in this bag because it's about 65 degrees in my place, which is plenty warm. So a minus 25 bag is like sleeping in 80 degrees warmer than I am, which is not very comfortable. So you can see and I tend to zip the bags from the outside. That's just my preference. All right. Now there's a lot of down in here, and I'll show you some of the features, but get this all zipped in, and you'll see, all right, kind of a greenish blue slug here. So just zipped in here, you can see I'm 6 foot. This is a 6'6" bag. I've got plenty of space. Now this features a typical drawstring where you can suck this thing down to where you just have this little bit of a breathing porthole. What's that look like? It looks pretty funny. Now again, if you're afraid of enclosed spaces, this is going to be hard for you. Oh gosh, I'm already broiling. but the drawstring around the face is huge. Ugh. Now I'm going to show you there's a neck baffle system as well in here, and a side baffle. So that is why, you know, this is an expedition bag. It's because it's got that extra neck baffle. Oh. Oh. Cooking. Alrighty, so we're going to zip this almost all the way up. But before I do that, I want to show you that high-end expedition bags have what are called baffles along the side. And what these do is this has got a double baffle system because it's a true heavy-duty expedition bag. My Antelope, my Western Mountaineering Antelope, I believe it has baffles on only one side. I'll double check that. But I'll put a link below to the Antelope and also to this Puma bag. So you can check that out on Amazon. There aren't a lot of reviews to these things because they are freaking expensive. But believe me, when you're going on an expedition and it's super cold, you don't want to skimp on money. Believe me, if you go cheap and you're out there freezing and you get frostbite, just you'll happily hand over your checkbook or your credit card and say, please end it. So I know I've met people that have done that. So the baffling system on here prevents cold from sucking out of the zipper or creeping in, or you know, your warm air going out of the zipper. So it does make it a little bit tougher to zip this bag shut because of that double baffle, but it completely prevents cold from leaching through the zipper at all. I mean, I can never remember a time, even when it was absurdly cold in this bag at minus 45, where I felt cold coming in through the zipper at all, which is really nice. Now, another feature of the bag is this little Velcro dealie that it's supposed to keep the zipper off your face, but that doesn't totally work. At Western Mountaineering, they use these YKK premium zippers here. This always kind of hits me and it freezes me, but that's just the way it is. Now, and the plastic zippers I don't like because, you know, they could break. You can't zip up your sleeping bag. What are you going to do when you're on Denali? You've been on there 2 weeks. Yeah. So the other thing about this bag that makes it an expedition bag is it's got an extra neck baffle. So what I'm going to do is you actually pull this little Velcro deal open that's inside. And you can see it's kind of tough to do because it's not easy. And this deal here, what this allows you to do is, as soon as I get it open, is you actually mate this together here. And this creates a sleeping bag within a sleeping bag. And now inside of the sleeping bag is a second neck duff or drawstring where you can close this around your neck. Now it seems crazy claustrophobic, but this bag inside of a bag technique is really what makes these expedition bags totally superior. Besides the baffles, besides the inner thick seam tape, I'll show you that in a moment, it really sets these bags apart from anything else. So if you're going to go somewhere where it's minus 20, minus 30, or even a little bit chillier, chilly meaning freaking freezing, then you've got to have a bag with a neck draw. And then once you get that down, you can totally suck this down. It is a bungee cord, so it doesn't, if it gets around your neck too tight, it won't totally choke you out and kill you. And then you draw the hood around here, and now you keep the cold air from getting into your body, and it separates your head. And where do you lose most of your heat per area? On your head. And it keeps that cold air from blowing down into your bag as you're wriggling around at night, kind of thinking like, why the heck did I do this? So this Puma bag is really incredible. Even at minus 45, it was a little bit cool, but I put my extra down jacket, just hovered it on there, no problem. One of these things, when I'm sleeping in minus 25, I just simply wear a wool shirt. I wear long underwear, just thin long underwear, and that's it. If you put a lot of clothing in and it compresses the down, it actually makes it colder. I know that's totally counterintuitive, but that down has to stay lofted and not squished for you to stay warm. So this bag is a little bit heavy. I mean, it's definitely not light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my compression sack, and I'll put a link below to this too. I think the event bags from Sea to Summit are the best compression sacks out there. And I'm going to weigh this bag for you, and I'm going to show you. It does take some work to stuff this thing in here. So just the compression sack alone for it weighs, I don't know, like 8 ounces or thereabouts. So I'm going to move this out of the way and to show you it does take some effort to put these things into a compression sack. Maybe I'll speed this up, but also when you put this bag in, especially because it's a Gore windstop, put the foot of the bag in first. It makes it much easier. If you put the head of the bag in first, it will puff up with air and you'll be fighting it for minutes while you're sitting there freezing. So believe me, you don't want to do that. And all right, let's see if I can do this pretty quick, just to give you a real time of experience. Now, I'm warm, I'm comfortable, I'm in just a thin shirt and shorts. So when you're doing this, when it's super, super cold, this process will take longer. Also, over time, you always want to air your sleeping bag out on expeditions every morning if possible, because otherwise that moisture gets in here and it begins to affect the down. Now, why do people only use down unless you're going to the Arctic? Is because down has a better warmth to weight ratio than any other synthetic fiber out there. It's just simply the way it is. And the only place where you do synthetic fibers is if you're going to go camping on the Arctic Ocean, where everything gets wet because of the humidity. Yes, it's actually humid at minus 40 degrees. It's a total mind bender. So boom, there you go. I'm going to put a link to this compression sack below, and you can see this is a substantial bag. All right, and just to give you a weight measure here. Now, when you're in the minus 25 degree bag realm, things aren't going to be light, and that's just the way it is. Because nothing comes for free. I wish it did. So this bag with a compression sack at 8 ounces weighs 4 pounds 9 ounces. So this bag is about 4 pounds. So that gets you 4 pounds of northern exotic, whatever, goose down. It does incredibly well. Again, I've used this bag on Denali. I've used it on, where else? I used it in Yellowstone in the winter. Yellowstone can be insanely cold in the winter. It's kept me alive even at minus 45 degrees. It was a little bit chilly, totally works. So highly recommend the Western Mountaineering Puma bag for your much more serious expeditions. I'll also put a link to the Bison bag. That's the ultimate. It's a minus 40 degree bag. That's what I use in Antarctica. It got so cold, even at minus 40, I was still chilly. Feathered Friends does make a minus 60 bag. I don't know if that's any better than the Bison bag. It's the same weight of feather, so who knows, who knows. Anyway, highly recommend the Western Mountaineering Puma bag for your serious expedition needs. My name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. Please like and comment on my video. Scroll to the bottom and a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Please support my channel on Venmo, PayPal, and Patreon, and hit that subscribe button to receive updates. Thank you for watching.